Welcome to Millie FX.
Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on Liberation Day, whatever these tariffs are today. Insane movement in today's market, today's trading. I kind of stuck with NQ for the most part of the day. We didn't really have insane volume. From open, we were pretty bullish. We did trade for like a lot of points, but it wasn't crazy expansions. We did catch some sells and then buys before the news with President Trump talking. Just so you guys know how that went, this is how it went, right? This candle kind of just shows the end of New York, but we carried over into probably one of the biggest moves of the year that I've seen. What does it do from here? Yep. Almost a 900 point move today. If we do it from the top, of course we're hitting damn near 1,000 point move to really end the day off and past regular trading hours, which pretty insane. But we'll go over this move in particular as well. Kind of just capping it off, not capping it off, but starting it off with my trades. I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, I post my profit every day. Today was $566 in profit. Wasn't really going for much. Just kind of wanted to see, small things. I knew we were going to go into a crazy market. I just didn't know exactly when it was going to hit. If it was going to be pre-speech or after. This one came out, started right at 1, so and then 1:30 we dropped. So the rest of the day was just for an hour, just the market dropping, which usually is pretty insane to see. So kind of just going over here now, coming into overall opening, we did see price expand lower coming out of Asia with a very, very, very tight consolidation here. So anybody that's up for London, this would have been your sell side bias here. New York open, we expanded higher. I don't even think we came down at all yet. Expansion just higher, so most people were just straight buying. I kind of was just waiting until certain areas were hit. Up here we have our previous week new day opening gap and a 30-minute order block. At this 30-minute order block, kind of wanted to see rejection here, which we did. But if we scale down to the 1 minute, we can see that rejection or the expansion lower. We didn't really have a very clear enough entry to really get into this area. We saw like major displacement of this whole move. This was like the most displacement that we were able to see from the majority of this move, right? So with that being said, we did see price sweep these lows, displace lower, and we left the FVG here, right? This is where my entry was. Down here where price you see is supporting and creating equal lows, we have the opening range gap high. So what that basically is if we go back to regular trading hours, where price or the market closed yesterday, we opened down here, we closed up here yesterday, right? So this is the high of that gap, and what we can usually see is price respect or use it as a reversal point if we were to break through. In this case, this was that support area that could have sent price higher, and then of course we did extremely break through this after, but that's beside the point right now. We took sells here. I closed out right at these lows, just to be more of a guaranteed sell off than trying to really break through the gap. I didn't really see price breaking through the gap, and then after we bounced off, came back to it and hit the gap again, I kind of knew that we were going to go higher from here, right? So that was these sells here. Now, after I took those sells, I started noticing again after we were bouncing off this gap that price was starting to consolidate. but we weren't pushing to the downside, meaning price was showing signs of strength and wanting to go higher. So back here in the 1 minute, now these red bar indicates 50% of the consolidation or the range. So after we traded above the range and price did not come back down into this area, we saw displacement higher. Little 1 minute fair value gap here that I took a buy in to run to this high here. Now keep in mind we are slowly approaching news time, so I wasn't really trying to hold on to much. Granted, we could run price all the way up to here and catch this whole move. One, a lot of prop firms don't allow news trading, so I don't even like going over these for certain people that are trading prop firms. Two, the market can go kind of crazy at that stage, so there's really no point in trying to battle it out with the market. It's better just sit back and watch. Especially these kind of moves, they could take you out in the slippage. If your stop loss is a certain area, you're more prone for the price to slip a lot more when it hits your stop loss. If it's take profit, then yeah, it's in your favor, but stop loss, you could lose an extra 2 to 20 points just because it's just crashing, right? So this is something I do want to go over with you guys at some point. The 4 stages of price delivery: expansion, consolidation, reversal, and retracement, which we'll go over that, of course. But this is consolidation. We know after consolidation we're going to see an expansion. So that expansion was this swing here into higher pricing for price to come back down, right? So we buy to sell. Then that's to finish off the rest of the day. But with that being said, once we understand like these different cycles in the market, right? For example, if we were to label this, up here would be a reversal point because we hit the 30-minute order block. It came straight back down. We didn't even respect this expansion. We broke structure immediately. So it wasn't a retrace. This was a clear reversal. In this area, we have consolidation. Let's put it here. Back into expansion. Right, so reversal, consolidation, expansion. Reversal, consolidation. So from here we're either going to trade lower or go higher, but that we know we're going to expand out of this consolidation if price was still, or the market was still open at this time, right? We know price is going to go somewhere, whether it be a short-term expansion or reach a new target. We know that that's what's going to happen. So that's how we utilize the 4 stages or the 4 types of price delivery. Price delivery meaning where is the market sending the price, essentially. So either we're moving sideways, we're going from one area back down, or we're just targeting new highs or lows in expansion. And then just to show you guys retracement, we have retracement here, which is from this low to this high, that's expansion. And every time price comes back down, we're respecting certain areas within that expansion. Right, so we have fair value gaps, breaks in structure, whatever the case is, but we retrace to go higher, to follow that current expansion that we're currently in, right? But yeah, I hope you guys ask any questions in the chat, or just join the free chat. Like if you have any questions from our videos, join the free chat, we'll answer them. There's a lot of info that we want to give, but to close it off, let's go over the president's stance on tariffs and a possible trade war. So like I said, we have this previous new day opening gap, and as you can see here, I have Monday's opening gap, high low, Tuesday's high low, today's was, jeez, if I can get it, this was today's opening gap high, opening gap low. So you can see that price was specifically targeting these areas because we opened down here. This is where we closed yesterday, and we traded right back through it. These are all key levels that price was trading down through. You could see once we reached this particular area in the gaps, we kind of had to balance out before we traded even lower. And we traded back down to Monday's low. We traded through it, but we could come back up, right? So that's just taking into account, you know, these reversal points that happen within each gap. Right. So with that being said, you know, some people are going to go for these moves. I'm particularly not, because like I said, you know, it's just a very strong move, and unless you have probably $1 million in your account, you don't want to be stuck in any type of drawdown or or be on the wrong side of the market, even though the odds are 50-50 essentially. You don't want to be on the wrong side of these moves, because they really can make or break you. So, you know, it's just better to sit back and watch. Like, notice how we even took highs and we almost took out this low. Right, between a whole range in one day of this swing, we did take out these highs, and we almost took out this low. So, like, for the market to move this much in one day is pretty insane. A total of 1,000 points. Right, and that's also after market close for New York session. So, like, you go to New York, we don't even see the rest of this. Right, so that's how crazy it can get when it comes to these types of moves. Right, make sure you guys like, subscribe, join our free chat, follow us on Instagram. We'll be posting a lot more. I know this week I didn't really post anything, but first day kind of choppy. Yesterday was all right, but I didn't really take anything. Today is actually the only day that I physically traded, or actually took trades. So that's why we're posting this today. Awesome. All right, I'll catch you guys in the next video.